I'm Pastor Jake. We're in Mark chapter 13, verses 1 through 10 for our Bible study. And Jesus with the disciples, and the disciples ask him, "Look, Master, look at all these buildings. Look how great they are. Look how beautiful they are." And Jesus looks at them and tells them, it won't be too much longer that not even one stone will be left on top of this. They just kind of, guess looked at him and thinking, what's this about? Because later, they're over by the Mount Olives, and Peter and them, Andrew and them, ask him, "What were you talking about?" He said, there's a time when these things will be fulfilled, where there won't be a stone left on it. And he's talking about in 70 AD, the Judaism revolted, and when it did, the Romans come and destroyed everything in Jerusalem. They wiped the temple right off top of the mountain. And then he starts telling them, he said, "Look, don't be deceived." He said, "There will become many who will say that they're the Christ, who will bring new religions, bring all this new doctrine in on you." But he said, "Don't be fooled." He said, "Don't be troubled, because you'll hear of wars and rumors of war. Matter of fact," he says, "but not be troubled, for such things need to be." See, we always get scared when we hear about war. But the thing about it is, Jesus says, don't worry about it. If you're a Christian, you shouldn't be worried about wars. You shouldn't be worried about any rumors, because there will be famines and there will be stuff happening in this world that we can't control. It has to come to pass. Our job, just like he was trying to explain to him, because the last verse in this, he tells him, he says, and the Gospels must be first be published among all nations. That's our job, to go out there and preach the Gospels, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. To step up and be the church that God told us to be before we wind up like the stones, not one left on top of that hill. Before it starts getting cleared off. We need to rise up and do as Jesus told us to stand on His Word and on the Gospels.